Why can't DC do that?
It's because DC has a problem. You know, first of all, DC working under Warner Brothers is a problem because Warner Brothers loves to fucking put their nose where it doesn't belong. They don't know shit. It's the same thing they did with Mortal Kombat, obviously. And it's funny because I've talked to these guys about how I had a ongoing, like, I used to talk to one of the people who worked on the film, right? And she was telling me, like, yeah, Simon fought for everything, you know, like he really wanted to get all these details in the movie. And I'm not gonna lie, the details are all there. It's just way too rushed. You know what I'm saying? Like, the MK movie suffers from rushing shit and characters that didn't need to be there. Nobody gives two fucks about Natara. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares about none of that shit.
But that's the best thing about the MCU is just the character development throughout the years and watching them, watching them go through the growing pains of everything. It's just, you know, you almost feel like you fucking know Robert Downey Jr. at the end of it.
Exactly.
You know, it's fucking crazy.
He's the reason why it's the way it is. Him and Jon Favreau are the sole reason why we have the MCU. Without those dudes, this shit isn't possible. No one else is doing this. No one.
Favreau is
that's DC's problem. They don't have fucking RDJ.
Yeah. Going back to your question, DC has Warner Brothers who's always butting in, and then they were just trying to play catch up. They see that Marvel's destroying the box office with like Avengers, like those earlier movies, right? So they say, all right, we're gonna do Justice League, and they tried to rush everything, and like
that movie was terrible, bro.
Yeah. 4-hour Snyder cut comes out, everyone's like, oh, the movie's much better, and it's like, bro, this shit.
But I lost like that feeling to want to like it a lot. You know, it's like
too late.
You know, it was a better movie though. It was a better movie.
It was a better movie. It's just, bro, like a year and a half later, we don't care no more. Yeah, it's like we liked it. It was HBO Max, so everybody. I wasn't going to the theater to see that shit.
Hell no, bro. Hell no. Same way I wasn't going to go see Mortal Kombat. But,
exactly.
Like, I mean, but the other day I had just rewatched the Batman Christopher Nolan series, bro, and that was just fucking crazy to me, man. To me, he killed that shit, bro.
Uh-oh.
That shit.
No.
Oh, here we go.
No? What's wrong with Batman? What's wrong with Dark Knight?
1 and 2. 1 was amazing. 2 was great because of the Joker, but then it started to get weak.
Per circle.
It started to get a little weak, and then 3 was complete bed shitting from Christopher Nolan, dog. He pisses me off as a director. Listen, man, don't get me started.
I'll tell you this. Part 1 for me.
Me off.
For one, part 1. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Bro.
What's up?
I said Christopher Nolan's outside. If you want to talk,
I'll fight him. I'll fight him right now. I will throw hands.
He's next week's guest.
Don't talk about Nolan, man. I told you.
We'll talk about it. I got my reasons, and they're valid, all of them.
Here's what happened. Like, all right, Batman Begins as an origin and him like being out there was very dramatic. And I remember even at certain parts being like, "Damn, this shit is a little like." It was just something I wasn't used to seeing on film.
Like what? What was too dramatic?
Like him going out there like this white dude chilling in the fucking Alps with a bunch of ninjas. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit. I'm saying like the way it was depicted for me when I first saw it, I was like, this is sick. But it's also like, what the fuck? Like, how's he gonna make it back to Gotham and shit? And then they did that pretty nicely.
Yeah.
But when you saw the budget, they gave him a little bit of money. They were like, yo, do what you can with this. He had the story written, so that's all he needed. But if you look at that movie now, you see that they were trying to like replicate that Tim Burton Gotham style.
Yeah,
it comes off kind of like this doesn't look like that, but it looked weird. You know, it looked a little different. Part 2 comes out. They give him a bigger budget. This time they set it in Chicago, so you get that big city feel. Feels like it could be Gotham, but it's not New York. You know what I'm saying? So Chicago was a perfect backdrop. And then you just have the perfect villain because the Joker comes out of nowhere. He doesn't have an origin, really. He doesn't really need a reason to be fucking with everybody.
No,
but his reason, he just didn't give a fuck. He just wanted to show that these people weren't shit and he was better than them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he could fuck with Batman in a way no one else could. So that was excellent. Part 3 suffered because, as far as I know, the third movie wasn't supposed to be what it was. And I thought the third movie was supposed to be something to do with Arkham Asylum, and it was supposed to be the Joker again. But since he passed away, they went with the whole Bane thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I mean, I had my problems with third
It's
film.
like a 7-year difference, right, between when those movies came out, I believe.
There's a pretty big gap, yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty
Yeah, it was
big
a
gap,
big
man.
gap. And it just, for me, it felt very much like there were certain things editing wise that I saw where like, yo, this is a terrible fucking idea to do. Like when he was just like, oh, I have a vision of you, you know, I go to Italy one day and I'm just sitting down and I see you, and I
Yeah, like
haven't seen you.
foreshadows the whole ending.
He foreshadows the whole ending, but the fucked up part about it is that they show you his vision, right?
Oh, right, a little
So
bit.
by the time it reaches the end of the movie, you see it
It's
happening
not a
again.
surprise. Yeah.
You're
Right.
like, he's gonna see Batman, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? He sees Batman, and it was a cool moment, but at the same time, it was like,
Yeah,
Like,
I know what you mean. Cause I saw it in the
skip that
theaters,
movie
and
all the time. You know,
that-
I skip it.
yeah, I'm like, I remember walking out like, yeah,
Like,
I mean, I just think it was a better story than the whole fucking, you know, Batman versus Superman, fucking Justice.
you're absolutely right.
Yeah. It was just. And then I don't know what to expect with this Robert Pattinson movie coming out. You know,
I'll tell you one thing. I'll say
he
here.
looks like a young Bruce. I can see it.
That Robert Pattinson movie is gonna be fucking. This is my take. I could be wrong, but I'm gonna say it. It looks to me, and given the skill, that dude Robert Pattinson is a nasty actor. Like, he's a really good actor. Like, all his indie films have been getting me lately. Like, if you watch Good Times or Good Time,
Okay.
have you seen that, David?
Nah, that's all I was
Bro,
just saying.
watch that on Netflix. It's just about him. He's a crazy dude with a brother, and they get into some foul shit. And it's made by A24, the Safdie brothers. So
Oh,
these
that's
guys
like-
that did Uncut Gems.
that's the movie
Did
you
you
told me to
see-
check out for when we're doing the test on the TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
that movie is
I still
shit,
gotta watch
bro.
that shit. I like
What's
the
it
way
called? I'm
the
gonna write that down.
good time.
Good Time.
Did you
And
see
it's
him in Tenet?
Robert,
didn't see
I
it yet.
haven't watched it yet.
Oh,
You haven't
okay.
seen Tenet yet, bro?
I know he's in
No,
it.
and I fucking love movies like
I was
that.
gonna say I
Bro.
won't spoil it then. Forget it. But that's all right.
I need
I
your
know
take
he's
on it. Even though you probably
It
read up
just
on
hit
it, right?
HBO Max. It
Oh,
just hit
okay.
HBO Max. So I'm gonna watch it
Okay.
this week. It was just
Yeah,
something I tried to follow.
Carve some time out.
Isn't that a Christopher Nolan movie also?
Yeah, Tenet.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up because that
Yeah.
movie kind of encapsulates a lot of the problems that I have with his directing now because he didn't used to have this problem. It seems like he has this issue now. Again, I won't dive into it, but that kind of contains all the things that I get bothered with by him. But Robert Pattinson and that, like I watch him and I just don't see Batman whatsoever from Robert Pattinson. I don't see
No,
Bruce
I
Wayne.
could-
I don't see
You
Batman.
don't, you don't see a young spoiled Bruce.
No, I see I see like Train Spotting. I see a Ewan McGregor in Train Spotting. That's what I see when I see.
Yeah.
That's all I see from him. I do not see a billionaire. I do not see suave. I don't see smooth. I don't see aggressive. I
funny?
don't see bold. I see a fucking vampire who glitters. Like I don't see any of that.
I was
shit.
literally about to say that.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
This is exactly how I feel about Michael Keaton, even though Michael Keaton was the shit as Batman.
You watch your fucking mouth. Michael Keaton's a
He was not a playboy. That
Yeah,
motherfucker wasn't even
Nah,
good looking.
Hands down, the worst Bruce Wayne.
he was a playboy for the 80s and 90s. I feel like that's what playboys. You know.
Hell no. In the 80s and 90s, you had dudes like fucking.
It was an Orlando Bloom and shit. You had your George Clooney looking dudes. You had your fucking dark, handsome kind of looking types. You didn't have the pretty boys yet.
I mean, he was still on that he was real low
Agent
tier.
Clint
Though.
Eastwood.
You had Rob Lowe's. You had
Right.
early Tom Cruise, my dude. Like,
Yeah.
That's true.
you had
Yeah,
early
better
Tom
looking.
Cruise.
Yeah,
Tom
better looking
Cruise.
Bruce
You
Wayne.
had early Depp. These boys
from
were about to
below.
take
And he's
Hollywood.
friends with Burton, so he could, Depp could have done that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But
I mean, not to stay on that too long, but yeah, that's all I meant. Like, I mean, I think that movie's gonna be excellent. Like,
Sorry, my
that movie
camera died again. I'm working on it.
That's another one that keeps getting pushed back too.
Yeah, I think it's gonna if I'm not mistaken, it has a lot to do with the Court of Owls story and the Riddler's in the movie, and I like the guy who's portraying the Riddler also, and Colin
And
Farrell
Penguin's in it as well too.
yes, Colin Farrell.
Oh,
So I think it's gonna be the best movie we've gotten about Batman since The Dark Knight. I think they're going that same route. That's why it has a very dark tone, and I like it. I like where they're going, but it's gonna be a good standalone. It's not gonna connect to anything.
I'm gonna say it is a good standalone. It's a great story because I like that story a lot.
Yeah.
But besides that, I think just like everything else DC, the acting, the sets, and all that shit, the directing is gonna be weak. But I don't know.
Well, we'll see.
We're gonna see.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's